Okay. This is so impromptu and kind of last minute, but we are here. We are live.
We're
Everyone's
live.
in. Let me know where you're tuning in from, what city, what state, and we're gonna go over interviewing Larry, who's a speaker. Brandon is here. What's up, Brandon? If you have if you're currently right now at 50K month, at 60K month, you want to get to that $100,000 months, that coveted $100,000 months, which just means that you're a 7-figure business. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're like, yes, I want to explode my income to create that 7-figure business. I'm going to be interviewing Larry here. And Larry is one of our speakers. Larry's also one of the amazing coaches inside of Ignite as well. Everyone loves Larry's sales coaching. So if you have questions, James is here. What's up, James?
What up,
Nice to meet you. All right, so we're gonna get into all the nitty-gritty details, as well as like some top-down level questions as well. I'm gonna be kind of having a chat with Larry about, you know, the different reasons why people aren't hitting $100,000 months. What are the ways in which they can? And Dano Hanfling is here. Dano, is Dano part of your brotherhood, I think?
Yeah, he is. Dano's my man, dude. Dano's the guy.
Dano is here. What's up, Dano? Guys, right now, drop a comment on where you're at right now. Are you at 5 figures? Are you at 6 figures? Are you 7 figures? And also, this is an announcement that we're going to go live more often, and we're going to actually talk about all the questions you might have for an in-person experience and event we're having in February the 9th to the 11th. So we're having an event in Miami, right by the water, overlooking South Beach and all of the, you know, in the sunny Florida state. And that mastermind event is all about how do you monetize and scale your group monetization effort to $100,000 plus per month. And also, I'm going to revealing behind the scenes on how you can create passive reoccurring income with your own tool and being able to leverage your group and your community to get subscribers. All right. Yes, James says 0 figures. Oh no, James, we got to fix that. We got to change that. All right, so we're going to dive on into that. Give me a second. I'm going to change the banner to the website. So if you are interested in attending, it's mastermind.groupconvert.com. And then also, Larry, we're going to be dropping the link to scheduling like a quick call as well with the team if you're interested in seeing if the event is for you. All right. So let's go, and I'm going to dive right into it right now. All right. So Larry, let's talk about when people are monetizing from their community and their group, and what do you believe, what questions they might ask in terms of like what are some bottlenecks that you have seen genuinely that holds them back from achieving consistent, let's say they're at the $20,000 or $10,000 mark per month and they want to get to 30 to 50. Let's start there.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing, and that's a great question, Kim. The biggest thing that I see just through my own journey and like helping a lot of different like sales teams, setters, closers out is a lot of them don't have a process that actually centers it around the actual prospect and what they want. Oftentimes, coaches who are kind of stuck around that 10 to 20K, they play the volume play, but they could actually get really good about a little bit more effective in converting the current opportunities that they do have, right? And so what I really hammer down, especially when the sales coaching call that I always talk about, is like, How do we create a process that actually focuses the attention on the prospect and takes the focus off of you? Because I think the biggest mistake that a lot of coaches make is they go into like pitch mode way too soon. And I don't think there's anything wrong with pitching. It's just you got to know when you have to do the right things at the right time. And so the best way, it's like what you mentioned, is how do we get the right questions to actually, step one, have them open up to then be able to receive a pitch or a recommendation or an insight when the time is right. And when you come from that insight and like servant leadership frame first, one, your community is really going to feel that. But two, that's how you actually take the same amount of lead lists that you have, double your closing rate, and you go from 20K per month to 40, 50K per month, right?
Yeah. And I absolutely believe that people think throwing volume into it is, they're like, oh, I just got to get more leads. When a lot of times, if like some of our clients, they would have only 70 people sign up to their training, but they'll book out 60 calls because they're all the right people in it. So you don't really need volume, and they'll only convert like 5 people. But that's their $50,000 month. That enables them to go and get the cash flow to hire the virtual assistant or be able to pay themselves. So it's definitely about the quality over the quantity. One of the questions I get asked so frequently is, as a coach, because that's the audience that we're talking to here, how can this work for people that, and I'll answer this question too, but how can this work for me if I don't know if my offer will actually convert, because my offer is not a money-making offer. That's such a big I don't know, the most frequent question that I get. And it's because so many people want to get into the coaching space to really teach the softer skills, the mentality, and they just don't have something that makes money right away. So knowing that you do sell, like one of the offers that you do sell is very soft skills offer. Yes. How do you approach it in a way where you're able to convert your audience and you don't have a money-making offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we have to always understand is like 3 things, right? What's the pain, what's the gain, and what's their current belief system? And so for me, I've gone from everywhere from selling money-making offers to literally, I used to sell a dating offer for a business owner. And it was like, hey, that's not making them money. That's just getting them more dates. And so what I really learned in that offer, Kim, and this is what I want everyone to kind of pay attention to, is it's not so much about trying to get them to associate with the money aspect. It's just, first we have to identify what is it that they actually want, right? Money is just a vehicle for creating the lifestyle that we want, right? And so I think the biggest mistake that people make in a sales process is they're just too surface level. So if we can figure out, let's say, for example, if you run a fitness offer or you're a fitness coach and it's not about making money, that's okay. But what I invite you to think about is, how can we go deep enough with the discovery or the questions that we ask to actually uncover what they really care about? What is the real gain that they actually desire? And once we're able to figure out what is it that they actually desire, right? This is their current situation and this is their desired situation. We just need to, through a proper process, anchor our vehicle and help them associate. That's the process to go from where you are to where you want to go. So oftentimes, like for example, I'm working with Andrew and Nick on Masters of Fate. It's not necessarily a money-making offer. So what I have to do in that sales process is really uncover, what is it that that man on the other side truly wants? Do they want more money so they can have more time to spend with their kids? Do they want just better health and mental well-being? And that's what they actually care about, so they can get some peace in their life. Mm-hmm. And so for anyone out there, remember, sales is not about necessarily having to get this quick result. It's about helping enroll people into a vision that they care about, a a vision that's aligned with their values, with their mission, what they actually want in terms of their ideal lifestyle. So when you, as a person, as a coach, can understand what actually is sales, we can go beyond just the surface level of money. And remember, money is just one layer. There's actually multiple layers to this process. And when you learn the right process to uncover all those layers of the onion, that's where the magic actually happens, Kim.
I love that, Larry. And for as a tactical answer, I would say this, and this is kind of like some different perspective that ties into how it can be money making. So some of the potential clients and my followers or someone who books a call talks to me and they're like, well, Kim, this isn't money making. And I'm like, are you sure? So what I do is I say, look, there's actually two veins of thought here with let's say that they're a mental coach. And as a mental coach, they're teaching the soft skill of like, how do they help their clients change their internal world so that their success reflects externally. When that happens, their client can be a person that is in the wealth industry. Most of their clients who go and sign up with them are people who took care of a lot of the money issues so that now they're like, okay, I have extra money. Let me work on myself. Let me work on my mentality. Let me hire the coach that would help me figure out my own mind. And then when that happens, their success is, they have better relationships, but they could also be able to close, let's say, a higher ticket offer, be able to get more pay-in-fulls, be able to grow their business in a way that gives them that monetary success. And so the mental coach can say, look, because of the mentality piece that gets resolved, the result is monetary over here.
Yes, exactly. And what you said is so beautiful, Kim, because how I think about it, what you just said is just creating the right associations. Meaning, if you're a coach out there that can say, hey, I'm a fitness coach for entrepreneurs, but what I really do is I get your energy, your focus, and your productivity right with my health system. And that's how you're going to actually create more money in the next 6 to 12 months. And so what you just said is it's just absolutely right. When you can help guide our prospects to make the right associations to what they actually care about, you can associate anything with the right words and the right questions, right?
Yeah, and it's also not fighting against their belief.
Yes.
So often in a conversation when you're like, no, you're wrong, a bridge is, cracked a little. So if their belief is so strong in that, like, in order for this to work, the offer needs to be money making, and I don't have a money making offer, they have a very strong belief associated to the offer has to be money making. So instead of fighting that, I go, well, it is a money making offer, because you solve the mentality piece for these high level corporate CEOs. Let's say that they're running at 1,000,000 miles per hour, and then it helps them to relax, to gain clarity. And then that makes them go and amplify what it is that they're doing, and the vehicle that they're in is wealth. Then your offer does tie into that. So let me affirm your belief. Let me say that that's the case, and then tie it into a way where you might not see it that way before. And so, like not going against their beliefs. Sometimes I think to convert more clients, it is to break past beliefs. And then other times it is to be okay with their current belief, reaffirm it, and then form a connection to it that they didn't see before.
Because I think it's important, right? Even if you're a coach who's helping other people, what Kim is talking about there, y'all, is so important, and pay attention to that. And she's saying, be cooperative with human behavior as opposed to combative. Because oftentimes combative behavior is not going to help anyone. It's a lose-lose, to be honest. But we can still be cooperative and still challenge people's beliefs to help them shift into a better belief, right? And so these are the key distinctions that I think for anyone out there who is maybe at 10K per month and wants to get to that next level, it's these small nuances with understanding conversion that help double or triple business. And it's not really these big crazy shifts. These small things, if you choose to master it, can really move the needle forward.
Yeah. And another obstacle that I see that crops up a lot is to get to from 10K a month to 20 to 30, a lot of times it is with a team. So it is a journey of letting go of control that that entrepreneurs kind of struggle with, because they feel like if they can't do it all themselves, it's not going to work out. And and a very concrete example of letting go of control in a way where you release a lot of your time. If you are doing 10, 20K a month and you want to get to 50, 100, is have an amazing client care person. Have an amazing client care coach to go and coach your people, because your time, if you are doing all the fulfillment, maybe 10 to 20% of your energy can really truly serve your people because you're wearing a lot of hats. But if you have a client care individual coach underneath you, they are 100% devoting 100% of their energy to just client care. The number of hours that you would save from your day as you expand out with how many clients you have can be astronomically saved by a good client care coach. And that person you can find in your world right now, someone who already took your program, or a trusted like friend as well that is in your industry. So that's a big piece that I see can release you from being the bottleneck of your own business. That's one of the first most important bottlenecks that can be released.
Because I always think about that, right? Like 10 to 20K, I think about my own journey and also just the hundreds of different coaches that I've helped over the years. And I think about, 10 to 20K is like a game of golf. You're by yourself, right? You're trying to really just figure it out, get to the putting range and really make sure it hits. And then eventually you get good at that. But that game from 20 to 50 and eventually 100K per month, it's a game of basketball. And one of the most important things you have to understand is, what game am I playing, right? And if what you want out there is to be that coaching business that eventually gets to that 50, 60, 100K per month, you got to understand how to play the game possibly a little bit differently, right? And so when you're talking about hiring out coaches to help with delivery, it goes on the same side with offense when it comes to like sales, right? Like, how do you start thinking about building a sales team to help offload your time from taking sales calls, and eventually, maybe not 100% of the way there, but eventually buy back some time. And when you really start orchestrating this awesome team, that's when 100K per month isn't just profitable, it's fun, right?
Yeah. And what about the ads versus no ads versus organic fear? There's a lot of fear around algorithms changing, dependency upon ads. How have you seen that work for people who want to scale or trying to scale? For me, so many clients want to not have their company or their income dependent upon another person's platform or another thing, that when the algorithm changes, it just messes things up. So we actually developed a very organic way of pulling in our internal software. We pull in leads from other groups, and we already know where they live, where they dwell, what groups and communities they're in, and what groups are paid groups, what groups are not paid groups. And that enables us to have our clients set up a clear path to purchase, to go from cold to warm to jumping on a call to being open to the offer to getting the offer. And that's what I've seen in the Facebook group world and what's possible organically without ads. But what for you, what have you seen that has worked to scale a company where you're not so fragile and dependent?
So this is from experience as well as like hearing it from a couple of thought leaders. But here's the beautiful thing is when you think about your community, Kim, and what you have set up here, you're already ahead of the curve, because what I see is a real shift in the market going from just like, you know, people were kind of playing the ads game to where it's now very community focused. I truly believe the next 2, 3, 5 years, especially as all this new technology like AI is coming, that people are actually going to value community even more. So what do we then create a scalable strategy for a business is how do we then create a community-based product or a community-based movement? And when you double down and actually just pouring into your community, whatever platform that might look like, whether it's a Facebook group or Sam Evans, like a new platform school, like at the end of the day, if you find the commonalities between what actually works in the market right now and what's going to continue to work, it's all community focused first. So I don't even necessarily view it from like an organic or paid ads standpoint, because I think both work. But the real thing that I think is really going to, you know, bring in the new opportunity for those people who choose to take it is thinking about community first based businesses. And then whether you pour that in through organic or paid doesn't even matter. It's just focused on like, hey, community is the first and foremost biggest focus. And that's what drives me to continue growing, as opposed to kind of the old, like, hey, let me just focus on Facebook ads or TikTok ads. Like they all work if you learn how to master it. But the long-term strategy, I believe, is truly in community-based businesses moving forward.
Yeah, I've seen this movement with companies like Jungle Scout. They're one of our subscribers, and they're like a $20+ million company. And they reached out and they're like, hey, we want to create a Facebook group. We're going to start using your tool. So really big, not really big, bigger companies are, even though they're in the tech space, they are moving towards a more community-driven environment. So absolutely, I agree with you, because it's about, in order to get more lifetime value out of a client and really creating this multi-year journey with them, there needs to be that they're coming back again and again because of the community and the way that they're being listened to versus, you know, here's a tactic for you, here's a thing for you. But no, here's a place where you can go and belong and feel like you're, you know, because even now, and it's surprising to me because we're so deep into our world, even now, some of my clients tell me that their roommates call them crazy or their friends and family call them like absolutely nuts. And it's because they've invested in themselves before. And maybe they weren't at the time in their life where they can take advantage of it, or they were too green, or things happened. But based on that logic, it's as if you took a beginner's, you know, hunting course and you didn't kill like that buck that you can, you know, or let me use a different example besides a killing example. But let's say that you're at the very beginning of your, of whatever program you have, and you didn't hit 10 out of 10. And then all your family and friends go, you know, that was a scam, it sucked. And it's very much the case that it's so important to be surrounded by the right community so that you can fully be unleashed and step into the potential of what you can do when you don't have a bunch of people telling you that you're nuts. So yeah.
Right. And that's why, just to hammer on your point, Kim, that's why environment and community is so important. That's why I think about, when I think back to the past year, what are the most pivotal moments that helped me grow the most and helped me level up? It was getting in communities. It was getting at events. It was being in person in a room with other people, where maybe some of the magic wasn't even necessarily a new tactic that you learned, but you just made one connection that opened up this world of belief for you. And you're like, dude, if this guy is making 50K per month and he's like 20 years old, why can't I? Right? Sometimes it's just those little things. And I think that's why it's important to surround yourself in a community, whether it's virtual or in person, because that's actually kind of like, I almost think about it as like car insurance. Is if you literally decide to surround yourselves with people who are doing what you want to do and are achieving what you want to achieve, there's almost, I hate using the word guarantee, but there's almost no way you're not going to hit your results if you just stay long enough in that environment. The problem is most people get in an environment, a new environment, they maybe get like a couple results and then they leave. And then they wonder, why am I going back down? Well, you got yourself out of the environment that got you success in the first place. So really the key that I kind of just simplified for myself throughout the years is, as long as I'm in the right environment with the right people, in person or virtual, I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That's a great segue into our, what we're doing in February. We're creating an environment where you can meet up. It's located at a large penthouse in Miami, right by the water. And in that environment, you can be surrounded by amazing, amazing entrepreneurs who are all on the same path. They want to be able to serve their community and they want to scale up their companies, their businesses. One of the unique things about this community is that I don't focus on just coaching, but I also have a component of passive income with software, with bringing your idea to life without knowing how to code or becoming a super techie software CEO. And there's a lot, I saw that there's a surge in interest in that recently because of there's such an appeal to passive income before, but now more than ever I've seen because of the shift in the economy. And people are searching for solutions that are more consistent and more steady with their business. So I believe the future with coaching is to create and bolt on no-brainer continuity offers that can be in the form of simple tools as well as memberships that will enable you to kind of get out of the get clients hamster wheel that a lot of coaches and consultants jump into and have to keep on running and running and running. And if they don't enroll X amount of high ticket clients the next month, they're just gonna not survive. So the event is going to have the component of like, how do you make your business more anti-fragile as well. And so I'm excited for that. I'm also excited for the community. Larry, what are you going to be talking on? And also, I want to end this interview. We're going to have more of these, but I want to end it with our trailer. So I need like 3 minutes from now to the top of the hour to play it. So let's wrap it up. And then where can they go to get more details about the event itself?
Yeah, so I'm going to really talk about not just the tactics and strategies of sales, but also really the mindset, energy, and just bringing both the internal and external world together so people can actually get to a point where they're closing 40, 50, 60% and beyond, right? Because it's like what we talked about earlier, Kim. How can I actually capitalize on the current opportunities I have and double, triple my business from there? So really, that's the process. I kind of share with y'all how I closed 1.4 million in 2021, literally combining some of these frameworks. So I'll go over that. And if you guys want more info on the event, just drop a yes below, something along those lines, and we'll reach out. We'll get you some more details, and we could always jam on a couple of things that you guys might need some clarity on. So that's it. Get in a better environment, y'all, whether it's this event or not. That's the thing that's going to really move the needle. And if you're really looking to level up and make 2023 a big one, then I invite you to consider the event for Miami in Feb.
All right, you're gonna meet me, you're gonna meet Larry, you're gonna meet other members of my team. We're gonna have a blast, and I'm gonna go ahead and play the trailer. I'm so excited to see you guys in Miami. Dano's like, let's go. Dano, you coming?
Oh,
Miami, let's go. All right, Larry, thank you so much. You guys are gonna bring Larry on again as we get closer to the event as well. And now I'm gonna play the trailer for you guys. All right, have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna go ahead and put us back into the Zoom room, the green room.
There is actually like a really beautiful kind of background hum of actually like some real legitimate love, and I perceive some long-lasting friendships will come of it.
This event was phenomenal.
It's been a blast.
I saw a lot more than just another business event, and I saw a community.
Can't think of anything to complain about. The whole experience is just awesome.
The number one benefit of coming to events like this is the ability to connect with other people who share values.
It's not just what she does, it's how she does it.
Each and every single event that Kim has, she just takes it to the next level. The network is just insane.
The things that come of this will change the world.
What I thought was really cool is that I felt included.
This experience has been an absolute delight. At the end of the day, life's about doing what you enjoy with people you love. This entire weekend has been significant to getting to connect with other people in the space, seeing really what's possible across all the different facets of how you build a business.
Immediately, I fell in love with her personality, and I knew that she really knew what she was talking about, and this was what I needed to take my business to the next level.
GroupConvert Live was a little bit different from other events that I've attended because we kind of moved between the strategic and the tactical, and in part because there were some surprising cool events that were in the area.
They've helped me realize the essentials to a business that is rooted in collaborations with other individuals. And I'm so thankful that here you just have so many individuals bringing ideas to the table to collaborate and create great things in this world that make an impact.
I'm so eternally grateful for everything that Kim does. She comes from the heart, and she truly, truly cares about not just the actual results in the business, but the experience of that itself.
Kim's team, everyone here is super friendly. The food is awesome. The special show that she arranged for us, can't think of anything to complain about. The whole experience is just awesome.
We had a beautiful, interactive, colorful drum experience that has to be seen to be believed and understood.
One of my favorite moments of being here is just, I don't know, I love people. I get a high out of hanging out with people, and there's some really good people here. I'm a little bit older than everybody else, and so I'm thinking, God, everything's so complicated, but it's not, and they make it easy. They make it look so easy, and they actually walk you through how it is easy.
There's nothing that is more powerful than being in the face-to-face energy of people who are working in the same direction to accomplish things, maybe not in the same direction in terms of what they're trying to do and how they're accomplishing it, but everybody's moving towards success.
I would just recommend that anybody who gets invited to anything by Kim, I think if you take it up, you will be very, very pleased and very happy in the short, medium, and long term.
The event was really strong. It was definitely more than I thought. Cool way to spend a weekend, learn a little bit about marketing funnels. It was much, much bigger, much, much more comprehensive than that, and I'm glad to have come.
If you can catch Kim's next live, go for it, because it's totally worth it.
And I'm so excited for the next events, and I can't wait to join you.
Oh yeah, if you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimc.com. kamcdang.com. That is KAMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.